Hey planner friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning from the 29th of September to the 5th of October in my Archer and Olive notebook. And this week I am using Autumn Wishes from Plannerface. So although this is kind of the first week of October, I've still kept with an autumn kit because there are like 5 weeks in October. And although I have like plenty of spooky kits, I didn't have like 5 that I wanted to use. I do have the box add-on for this kit. I don't think I'll actually use it this week, but I'm always a fan of extra little things and those like chunky fancy labels. I have all of my stickers pulled out and my Plannerface reusable sticker album and my planning notes in front of me, so we can get into the base of this spread. Okay, so I absolutely love the colours of this kit, especially this kind of purple. We call this purple? Yeah, sure, it's a purple. I was toying with the idea of colour blocking for this week, but I'd already pulled out all of my stickers not colour blocked and I can't be bothered to do that again. So we're going non-colour blocked, and then we'll get some of this lovely blue in the sidebar as well. So this week, as I said, it's the first week of, like, it had the first couple of days of October in, but and I do like doing a spooky spread every day in October, but let's go with you. But I also really wanted to use this kit, and I feel like it's a bit too like early autumn to still be using it in like November. So I figured I'd squeeze it in now. I still have a couple of days of September. As I did last week, I'm not going to use my habit tracker in the sidebar. Wild choice, I know. But now that I'm tracking everything in other places, it feels a bit redundant to be tracking things twice. So I just have a bit of deco and this little pumpkin situation. And then I've gone with October for my month because the majority of the days in this week are in October. Come back to the bottom of the sidebar. So this week I was working my normal Monday to Friday, so I have my regular setup, like layout. And this week was the start of the Weightlifting World Championships. So from Thursday on this day, there's a lot of weightlifting in my, or watching weightlifting in my planner. I tried to watch all of the women's A sessions live, and it was kind of, they were all at like easy to watch times because it's in Norway, so it's only an hour ahead of us. When they're further away, I just have to try to avoid spoilers. Yeah, for anyone that's not aware of how weightlifting works, you're in weight categoried groups, and you start with the competition starts with the lightest group, and they have their competition, and then it keeps going up to the super heavyweights. So this week was the lighter groups. I was also trying to watch some of the B and C sessions because there were quite a lot of people from the UK lifting to try and get Commonwealth Games qualification. So yeah, I watched a lot of weightlifting this week. I had to stop watching quite so many of the B and C sessions because I was starting to get like over watching it, and as someone who is in one of the heavier categories, I wanted to watch my own category and not be fed up of weightlifting by that point. Not that I think I ever would get fed up of weightlifting, to be honest. Okay, so we've got this beautiful sunny washi. I think this washi is why I was really like, I can't use this kit in November because it's too bright and sunny. And in November, I much prefer to use like darker kits that are more fitting the vibe of, well, November. But next week, don't worry, I will be going full on spooky. Okay, let's go back to full boxes. So I have loads of loads of space for full boxes this week. Okay, so we're gonna go for the double box at the top of Saturday and Sunday. Like this double box scene is really giving like early autumn. I don't know about autumn where you're from, but I definitely will be sitting outside in November. And then let's go with this girl down here. And we'll pop in another glitter header. I think I do kind of want to use this cake. Okay, if I just move this one down slightly, we can fit 2 full boxes in now that I don't have the habit tracker. Just put a little bit more distance between them so it doesn't look like they randomly get really far apart for no reason. Cute, okay. And then at the top of this one, I think I'm going to go for this planner one. I'm gonna measure it. So I've got this bit of deco pulled out. Okay. Cute. And then we'll add in the weekend banner, which is this super cute wood tone. I'm gonna add in a little bit lower so that I don't have to pull it up as much as I have done in previous weeks. Okay, and there we have the base of the spread. Okay, so starting on Monday, I was working from home this day, so this was one of my extra work from home days because of me not being well at the beginning of September. And we'll just put that in a little bit less over to one side. And this day was when like all the hype was properly ramping up around the World Championships. So it also helped that I started a new program this week. So I had loads of weightlifting stuff to like be looking forward to. I'm going to make that a half box actually. This day I also went to team training and then came home and yeah, I was watching all of the kind of hype videos by Weightlifting House. It's the only streaming service I actually have anymore. And yeah, it's where I watch all of it. So for work this day I have Vanilla. And then for doing my new training journal with my new program, I have the book doodle from the kit. For team training, I have Vanilla weightlifting, and then I also have some deco from the kit for just watching some YouTube and having a glass of wine in the evening. And then I've just had to pull these out because I forgot to get them out, but I have a custom team training script from Plannerface. On to Tuesday, I worked from home again this day. And after work, I did my clean session. Well, I put in that I did my clean session, but if I remember correctly, which I think I do, I don't really have a snatch, clean and jerk session in this new program, so I'm not going to be using my custom scripts for these. Oh, actually, I had something else to add in before that, which is good because I didn't like having those two yellows so close to each other. After I finished work, I had to run to Holland & Barrett quickly because we'd run out of protein powder. I have it on subscription and I'd skipped September because we had loads, and then we run out just before my October subscription arrived. So I had to dash out quickly before the traffic got too bad around like rush hour to pick up some protein, and then I did my training. After training, I then edited my video to go up on Wednesday. And then I just had a bit of a lazy evening. Yeah, again, I was just watching YouTube. They're being hyped for the new training, and also I got the TV working this day so that I could watch things on the Chromecast instead of having to watch it on my computer screen. So I have these autumn vanillas for work this week, and then I have the car doodle from the kit for a little Holland and Barrett run. I have Dumbbells version 2 from Plannerface for training, and then the laptop doodle from the kit for editing, and then I just have some deco from the kit for my lazy evening. Okay, moving on to Wednesday, I went into the office this day. So we'll grab this one, yeah. So I've got a patterned third box. And while I was at work, I bought some more concert tickets for next year because that's apparently going to be the theme of 2026. So I'm going to go see Amaranth and Epica, their like joint headline tour. The main thing that I did today, or this day, was updating my PC. And then in the evening, my back was bothering me this day, so I just foam rolled my back. But yeah, we updated my computer to Windows 11, which I wasn't super thrilled about. But my partner de-bloated it a bit, so it's much less like hiding settings from me. And then had fun setting up all my new installs. Thankfully, I'd moved everything from my like SSD onto my other hard drive, so I didn't lose anything. I just had to then move it onto one thing and then back. But yeah, I've got another autumn vanilla for work, and then the envelope doodle from the kit for getting my Amaranth tickets. For updating, I have this PC updating sticker from Coffee Monsters Co. And then for setting up things, I just have this vanilla looking confused at a laptop. Oh yeah, because I got really stressed out because I couldn't get my Baldur's Gate 3 mods to work. And you know how much I play Baldur's Gate 3, so that was a bit stressful. Moving on to Thursday, it was my uncle's birthday this day, so I'm going to mark that in with a little thing. And then I was working from home, but before work I ended up having a phone call with Becca to help me set up the mods, because it's not something that my partner has much experience with, like modding this specific game. He's modded others. And Becca knows loads about it, so I enlisted her help. Annoyingly, I then need to use a purple because I don't have any other quartz boxes, but that is for working from home. And then I did my training in the evening. So I'm going to use a quarter box for that. And then this day I got to start watching Worlds. So I watched a couple, like while I was working this day, I was watching weightlifting all day. So I'm going to mark this in big. But the main session I watched this day was the 43A session. So the lightest women's session. It was a really good session to kick off the World Championships, in my opinion. So although it was the first of like a bunch of really controversial jury calls that have continued the whole way through the competition. Anyway, I have the balloon doodle from the kit for my uncle's birthday, and then I have the phone doodle from the kit to mark in having a Discord call with Becca in the morning to fix my mod issues. I then have a vanilla for working, and then Dumbbells version 2 from Plannerface for training, and then I have this super cute Vanilla's watching TV because obviously I only have one TV doodle in the kit and I have several different things to mark that I watched this week. So I've kind of pulled in a bunch of stuff. Okay, moving on to Friday. Friday I was in the office, so we use this one. So I was working on site this day, and then as soon as I got home from work, I watched the 53A session. So I'm gonna use a quarter box for that. So this session started as I left work and I didn't want any spoilers, so I watched it as soon as I got home. Didn't do anything else. We then had to go on a quick little run to the corner shop because I think we were missing something for dinner, or I didn't have, yeah, I can't remember, but we did a quick little corner shop run. And then this day I also did some yoga. So I'm trying to re-stabilize my knee and my back and everything, so I started doing some yoga again. I kind of fell off the wagon with it, but I do really enjoy it. And then I have two things to mark in for the end of the evening, but one of them's got a massive sticker and one of them is just having some drinks at home. And I think I can assume that I had some drinks at home based on it being a Friday. So we'll just put the other one in. Basically, there was a storm this weekend, and on the Friday evening, like just before I was going to go to bed, we realised how windy it got outside. So we went in, we had to go and tidy up all the bits that were still like in the garden under our like covered area from doing like the floor the other week. So I have vanilla for work this day, and then I have the TV doodle from the kit for the 53A session. I have the shoes doodle from the kit for a quick run to the shop, and then a yoga mat doodle from Plannerface for doing some yoga. And then I have this Lottie out in the wind for panic, like tidying the garden. Okay, moving on to Saturday. I started off on Saturday by doing my memory planning, so I'm going to use a third box to mark that in. And then I was just watching some A and B sessions, no, some B and C sessions even, of the weightlifting. I then went to team training to do my own weightlifting. So I'm going to mark that in with a quarter box, as I usually do. When I got home from team training, I had some editing to do. Oh yeah, I edited the video that I filmed that morning. How efficient of me for editing. So for editing, I'm going to use a chunky little thing. And then I did the groceries. So I just went and picked up my click and collect. Okay, let's try and put it on straight a third time. Nice. It was then time for some more weightlifting. So I watched the 58A session. Use this for that one. So yeah, so the 53A on Friday was really good because one of a weightlifter that I like from Romania got gold in the snatch, silver clean and jerk, silver total. And then on the 58A session, that was another really good one. They are kind of all blending together a little bit, but I've enjoyed every single session. And then there's also been the weird calls by the jury, but whatever. Also this day I did some life admin. And then finished off the day just having a bit of a lazy evening. Let's go with this one. Yeah, that fits perfectly. And this is the first Worlds with the new weight categories, so some people have moved around a lot, so it has been quite interesting seeing people that haven't competed before, like if one came down to a weight category and the other one went up from like where they'd been before. Yeah, it's been really interesting to see different people competing with each other that you haven't really seen previously in the old weight categories. For my memory planning, I have the planner doodle from the kit, and then for just watching some B and C sessions in the morning, I have just some deco. For team training, I have vanilla weightlifting, and then a custom team training script from planner face. For my editing, I have a bit of deco from the kit, and then I have the grocery doodle for picking up my click and collect. I then have a little vanilla watching TV for watching the 58A session, the notebook doodle from the kit for doing some life admin, and then just a little bit of deco, which I will pop under the weekend banner for my lazy evening. I had to get these pumpkins in here. They're super cute. Okay, moving on to Sunday. I started off this day with my usual Sunday reset. So a little bit of cleaning, tidying up some laundry, doing some vacuuming, you know, the usual. And then I did my September reflection. So I was waiting for the pictures to come out from Southwest Planner Club before I did my September reflection, because I knew that there were some really cute pictures that have been taken by the professional photographer that I wanted in my planner. Let's mark in doing that in a different colour, a little bit bigger, because we love a September reflection. And it does take a little while because I have to print my pictures and then write about fill in all of my reflection page and stuff, and my highlights. Yeah, print the pictures for my highlights and then write out all the reflection stuff. I then did my lifting journal again. And then this is where there weren't any A or B sessions, any B or C sessions that I wanted to watch at this point. So I played some Baldur's Gate with Becca, and then went back to watch the 63A World session. And then we just, after this session, went back to Baldur's Gate for a bit, but I had one of the men's sessions on, in the background, and this poor guy dislocated his elbow, and I didn't need to see that just before I went to go to bed. It's something, it happens with weightlifting, but you hate to see it. So I've got 2 things pulled out for that. That's kind of not big enough. Lifting journal can be a little thing because it doesn't need to be that big. I do want to fit one more thing in. So if we take that one out for a second, and then you kind of want it to be this box anyway, right? So if we stick that down, and then
Editing Natalie here. So imagine if I'd actually explained what I was doing rather than just going completely silent, because I can't concentrate on 2 things at once. But I have cut a chunk out of the middle of this square box and then stuck the 2 halves back together so that it looks like it was one big sticker the whole time. Sorry for the change in audio, I'm recording this on my headset, but I couldn't leave this just several seconds of silence while I just cut this sticker up.
Okay, cool. So to start off on Sunday, I just have the vacuum doodle for my Sunday reset. For doing my September reflection, I have the planner doodle, the planner deco from the kit. For my lifting journal, I just have this coffee cup doodle. For playing some Baldur's Gate with Becca, I have vanilla. And then for watching more worlds, I have another vanilla. And then I have a computer doodle from Papershire for some more gaming and drinks. And then I just have this last bit of deco for watching some more worlds. So that is all of my stickers laid down. I'm gonna go fill all this in and I'll be right back. So here's the spread all filled out, and I'm super happy with how this one has turned out. It's so bright and colourful, but also super autumnal at the same time. As I said, next week I'm getting it fully into my spooky spreads. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me a little sunflower emoji, if there is one, in the comments, and leave any other comments or questions you might have in the comment section down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!